Hello, everybody. Welcome to Smell the Glove Live. And by the way, you know what? Football is back. I'm sick and tired of, what can we call this? The international hiatus break killing me. From what I understand, we don't go back to international break until March, thank God. And especially after the way the U.S. national team played, and God forbid the way Scotland played. The good news about the Scotland team is they only played once over the break. That's the good news. The bad news for the U.S. is they played twice during the break. But anyway, with me tonight, Rev, how you doing, brother?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's good to finally talk to you guys as compared to our usual electronic email and Twitter conversation back and forth. Good to hear your voice, and I'm excited to finally talk about something important. Fuck the election. Fuck this stuff. Fuck New Balance. I don't care about any of that shit. I want to talk about Celtic. Dear God, please. Someone play some football. Someone kick a fucking football, please.
Especially now, like you said, with the ending of the break, we actually have something to talk about. I mean, there's been some snippets here and there, some news and stuff, but now we actually have something to actually,
Yes, and starting out with... Exactly, and starting out with Modern Love. I guess, since we really don't have football to talk about, I guess we have Celtic to talk about. And Modern Love... And I wish you guys had a chance to listen to our Rev and I conversation while this music was playing. The reason why I picked Modern Love is the question, Rev, that you and I really want to talk about is related to the article about oil money. How much of the question really is going forward? How much of what it is that Celtic is about? How much are people willing to give up in order to be part of a team that might win the Champions League again? What percentage of people do you think are willing to leave their politics at the door? How much are people willing to go ahead and say, you know what, I'm willing to allow the whole idea of what Manchester City is currently to be part of what Celtic is? I mean, the whole idea of Modern Love, it's like, what percentage of people that are supporters of the club are willing to be modern lovers of a club versus the real question is what percentage of people on the board are willing to be modern lovers of what football could be going forward, which I think is probably more of a question. But I know you wanted to talk about that, and especially I know you've got some really good insights on that. So, Rev, what do you think? Just go right ahead, because guys, listen, if you listen to this, it's going to be short. We have 8 or 9 things to talk about, nothing big, but this is, to me, this is the headline. Rev, don't you think?
Oh, definitely, and I think the timing is actually kind of funny with the AGN going on right now, or just ending, or whatever. Did it just start or just end?
It just ended. It just ended. Okay. Yeah.
So this is going to be a tricky one. I mean, first of all, we have to say our club is a modern football club, and anyone who thinks we aren't, is kidding themselves. The way the board operates. I mean, I don't think too many people think we aren't, but the way that the team operates with Lawwell and stuff, and I'm not going to go on a whole tirade or anything, but we are, and there's not really any denying that. But we aren't that bad as other clubs. I think there's a whole other tier of, like the whole oil money kind of level and stuff, your Man Cities, and then your Red Bull money kind of clubs and stuff that are just a whole other level above. And I don't think too many people, at Celtic, fan-wise, would want to go that route. Because then you do tie yourself in with the politics of who, where you get the money from. I think they're saying it would come from like somebody in the UAE, not the best, human rights issues and record and everything like that.
So let me ask you a question. What percentage of people do you think, and if we were to do it over under, the show, over under, and I'm just throwing numbers out, I'm just curious what you think. Over under, people that are willing to take the money and don't care about the rest of it, what did you say, 20%? 30%?
20%, yeah. I would have said
less,
under 25%.
Higher, lower?
So
25%?
I would say around 20. Yeah, under 25.
And let me ask you this: what do you think the reason is? Is it to get European glory again? You think it's
Yeah.
to hold the big trophy? Do you think it's to make sure Rangers never come back? I mean, what do you think it really is? What do you think it truly is?
I think it's a mix. I think you have some of the people who just don't care. They just, and I'm not going to go out and say straight up glory hunters.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to use the disparaging term. But I think there's some people who they just want the glory. That's it. It's the sport. It's the team. They want to see the team win. That's it. That's okay. That's fine. I also think American fan perspective, kind of the same thing. They're used to the big clubs, the Man Cities and stuff. That's what they see. They want to see Celtics on that same level. So they're like, that already exists for that team. Why not put Celtics there? So there's already that precedent.
So let me ask you this. I love your point. Let me ask you this question. So do you think people think that way because they're not quite sure what it would mean going forward to the club, or what do you think?
I think there's that aspect that kind of disconnects. I think people who grew up with the team, adopted the team, have that kind of connection versus people who grew up with the team versus people who adopted the team.
Got it. Now remember, I've adopted. I guess you could say I adopted the team.
No, right. As did I, and I'm 100% cut and dry.
Yes.
But there's a difference between someone who their only interaction is catching them on TV or playing them in FIFA and stuff like that.
Right.
Versus
which in the U.S. is what percentage of people in the U.S. watching football or soccer, watching European soccer
overall or for Celtics?
Yeah, overall in general. I mean, the reason why MLS has any viewership at all has nothing to do with MLS. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to say that the number one supported soccer team in the U.S. is the Mexican national team.
You
You
could, as far as numbers, but I mean, but
40 million fans.
Yeah, once you get past that and you start looking at club football, not just national team football, but club football.
Okay.
I mean, you look at that and you go, well, why does MLS have any viewership at all? Considering NASL went down the shitter back in the early '80s or mid '80s actually, and now you're here talking about MLS just in general. And looking at those numbers, and look what they draw, and it's got to. Don't you think it's got to be because people have been watching EPL and Spain and Real Madrid and I mean the big clubs, and admittedly so, and the big clubs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how much do you think of it as that?
No, definitely.
So when you look at that,
people see these teams on a Sunday morning, because that's what's on TV, and then. And that's kind of what got me going. Is like I want to see a team in person. I want to see something in person.
Right.
And there's a team local. So that's So yeah, I could see that.
So, I mean, what do you think about if I were to ask you, like North American fans listening to this, do you think there's Do you think North American fans, minus the expats that are here, North American fans would actually care either way? What Celtic did as far as money? What they did to get it?
I mean, I know within MLS fans, there is a segment of the against modern football kind of thing. And again, MLS is a modern football league kind of thing, so anyone who says that they aren't, again, they're kidding themselves, as most people don't want them to be, So that kind of mentality is there. So yeah, I don't know. I guess again, it comes down to how many people just want to kind of sell their soul and just get victories and trophies and stuff, versus how many people are into it for lack of a better word, the right reasons.
Now what's funny? Think of this is a conversation that I had with someone who is a huge. I had this conversation on Wednesday with somebody who runs NPSL team, runs our local NPSL team, and it was really interesting because the conversation that we had as the general manager, he's a good friend of mine, and we were just talking about it and saying, about the differences between European, U.S., things like that, so as far as soccer goes. And we were talking about how to be able, in Myrtle Beach, to be able to get some more extra sponsorship and some extra, notoriety for him in the club, or for the club, just not him, but the club. And as we were talking about it, the conversation came about about how do you guys get people to go to Philadelphia? And he asked me about what's going this weekend, and when a couple of us are getting together and meeting down at Chris's house this weekend, and and we have no other connection other than what we're doing here or on Twitter or whatever, no other connection other than that. He's like, how did you do that? And I told him, I said, listen, the truth of the matter is, and I think this is big for U.S. Tims that have adopted the club to understand that this is nothing to do with who plays for Celtic.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to do with it. To me, it has why I fell in love with the club has absolutely zero to do with who plays. I mean, I remember if I go look at the team that played against, who was on the bench for them and played in Sammy's, and Sammy Sunday and Samurai Sunday and all that stuff. I mean, none of those. I mean, come on, none of those players are world beaters. The only one that played on the huge stage, that I would know back then would be Samaras. But after that, there was no one else that was really that big of a deal that I saw. That would make me go, oh, I got to go watch Samaras play. And even then, he wasn't even that big of a player at that point in time until Lennon really, made him do that kind of thing, because he had gone big and gone away and come back. And as I'm talking to him, I'm like, dude, listen, the truth is, I don't think American fans, not just fans, but supporters, people who understand the club, really care who wears the strip. And I think that's the difference. And that's why I'm reading this article in Modern Love and everything else. I don't care. They could be really, really good. They could be they could be bad for that matter, as far as like getting a 6-0 or whatever, ass kicking in Barcelona. That's fine. I really don't care. And the reason why I don't care is because, I mean, all the things that when someone says to me, who do you support? I honestly believe that when you say, that this is who we support, there's a pride factor that goes with that, not because of who plays,
right,
but because of what the club stands for.
Right.
And I have a good friend of mine who's a huge. He owns a bar here locally. He's a Man City fan. That's where we go watch the games when Celtic play big games and they're on TV and that stuff. He puts it on for us, and he's a great guy. Hates the fact that the oil money's in Manchester. Hates it. Absolutely hates it. And he honestly believes that it's changed who the club is and who roots for the club and everything else. And I don't mean it from a perspective of I'm trying to be, protectionistic about, protectionist? Is that a word? Trying to protect, the integrity of the club. It's not to do with or protect their clique of people who support the club. I think it has more to do with the reasons behind supporting the club.
Right.
And I really believe that it's a huge ask. Huge ask. Now, I've seen some, like the article about, Emirates is across the street, and Peter was down. Uncle Peter was there the other day, and there's pictures and everything else. And
right.
I'll tell you what, man, it's a hard sell for if we were in Philadelphia, or the American the American Tims are over in Las Vegas. That's going to be a hard sell there. Could you imagine what it would be like in the stadium?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know what I like and don't like when it comes down to what's going on in a club and everything else, and I may be a little bit more liberal with what the club means to me as compared to some of the other people that we know. But holy shit, man, I couldn't. I have friends of mine that would absolutely they literally would blow a clot if that happened.
And, you're thinking too, like, think back to the 90s, the stuff with, like, Matt McGlowan and, Celtic for Change and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
If say this did happen and, that they became a majority owner or complete ownership or something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever the scenario may be, and things started tanking or whatever, that could never happen. There'd be no way that the fans could rally like that and have a grassroots
and then allow that to happen going forward.
Yeah, to change the ownership like that. There'd
with
be
you.
no way that could happen again.
No, I don't see that happening in any way, shape, or form. I really, really, really don't. I don't see anyone that would be excited. I mean, there may be people that want to say leave your politics at the door, and I'm down with that, and I'm okay with that. But that has nothing to do with the club's ethos. And to be honest with you, Rev, I honestly believe that, you and I may not be the best people in the world to talk about what the club's ethos mean to everyone else, as far as someone who was born into it and everything else. And I think you and I are probably, we see it, we identify it with it, we love it, we hold it close to us. But I do believe there's a difference between being born in it since the time you were handed a Celtic onesie and in living. I do honestly, I don't know about you, but I honestly do believe that there's a difference.
Oh yeah,
in that.
Being born and having, like as you're being born, like your father having that thought of you scoring a game-winning goal against the Huns in a cup final and stuff like that, having that dream for you that one day you're going to do that. No, I totally agree that there's a complete difference between, me in my 20s, early 20s, finding this team and, and the sport versus, yes, being born and having that.
Yeah,
that kind of experience. So without a doubt, I totally,
Yeah, I'm with you there.
I'm not even going to argue that.
No, and I think that's the reason why. I mean, just from the Americans. I don't even mean the expats. I don't mean people like Paul. I mean, me and Chris got together. Not one of us gives a shit of the player who actually puts the top on initially. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, like, you and I, we both own tops with names on the back. But it has nothing to do with the quality of the player. It has everything to do with what we think the quality of the player, the quality of the person that's in the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that to me, I think there's a big difference. And I'm sure if Paul were here, he'd probably yell at both of us for even talking about any of this. But I mean,
I think I get what you're saying.
But I think that's a big thing to. I mean, it really is. I think I don't see how they sell this to more than 15% of the fan base if they take money. And
like I said, that 20-25%. I'm thinking
I think it's
of that as
Rev, I think
the
it's
whole
less than
worldwide.
Okay, I'll give you that. Okay, 25%. If you told people, Americans watching it, would you take the money? I don't. That's a tough. Americans maybe, but not the Americans that we know. Shit, I mean, all the Americans we know. I mean, just. I've never been to Vegas, and I'm trying to figure out if I can actually go this year, depending on when it is in my daughter's high school graduation. But I'm trying to figure out. Just from my experience of people in Philadelphia, what American Tims there would say, yeah, I'd take the UAE money.
Yeah, let's tell Seamus, what he,
No, could you imagine? Seamus, come on. No.
Exactly.
No, it's not going to happen. He'd be like, no, never. I can't tell you anyone that I would know that would say yes. I really don't. And are there people now? Granted, of all the people I might be the one that would say I'd take some money. That was
Would you do like?
that was a politically correct answer, Rev.
Yeah.
Thanks for helping me. I might take some of it for certain reasons, but I
What I was
would.
gonna say, like a 10%, like a stake, like a small stake, you would take.
I don't even think so. I
No, nothing.
I'm of all the people, I might be the one who would take money. And you know what? In some circumstance, just not this one. Look at Swansea. You know, look at who's the other team in Wales? Not Swansea. I'm sorry, the Bluebirds that now wear red.
Pompey?
Yeah, no. The other team in they're in the second division now. Anyway, not after Swansea, the other team. But you know, it's one of those things, man. You know, shit. Who was it? Say it for me. Not Swansea. Welsh team in EPL, and it's going to come right up here, and it'll be Cardiff. Thank you. So Cardiff, Cardiff wears red one day. Thank you, Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
Cardiff wears red. You know, whereas they're blue. They were blue. They were Bluebirds. All of a sudden, you know, money comes in. Now they're wearing red because red is the official color of this whack job that's running the club. You know, it's holy shit. Really? Could you imagine? Oh, we're not gonna wear blue, green and white today. We're gonna wear red and yellow stripes, not green and white, because this is. Holy shit, man!
Well, that's what happened in Australia. The A-League, I mean, it's fairly new comparatively, even to MLS. It only its first season was 2005.
Mm-hmm.
Melbourne Hearts. They're even newer. I think they only formed in like 2009. Melbourne Victory. That's where Rogic went on loan a couple years ago. They're one of the founding teams, and then Melbourne got a second team, Melbourne Hearts, and then here comes Man City Group, whatever.
Yeah, man.
They come, they take over Hearts.
You could do the same. You could say the same thing in New York about what happened and the chances of the Cosmos getting MLS, couldn't you?
Well, that's different because in New York they just gave them a new team altogether. Like here, they took an existing team, completely rebranded them, changed their colors, changed everything.
Right. But I mean, as far as just making a team and then supplanting, a team with history. I say history because I actually watched the Cosmos play as a kid. But I mean, and by the way, the current NASL champions that they won against Indy 11. This weekend by the way, the goalkeeper, Jimmy Maurer, just saying. My son wears the same gloves as him, and he plays for he's a South Carolina Gamecock soccer player. But anyway, we'll go from there. Way to go, Cosmos!
Well,
they were green.
There's
just
an
saying.
example right there.
Yeah, it's my childhood team. It's my childhood team. That's and you know what, Rev, you're exactly right. I still have this tiny bit of my heart that goes to Cosmos only because I remember watching them. Like,
oh no! I'm talking about the Melbourne stuff.
Oh,
but I mean,
that too.
I get it. That's fine.
That too.
I got nothing against.
No, you don't. No, you like Cosmos because they beat NYCFC in the U.S. Open Cup 2 years ago. I know where you're going with that. But anyway, so what do you think? So chances. Give me a between 0 to 100% chance of them taking money. You think Peter would take money?
I think if there's money there, yeah, I think they'll take it. I don't know. How. I don't think. See, I don't know the particulars of the whole thing. I didn't read. Like I was telling you. Well,
there hasn't been anything concrete. It's just been all speculation why he was there and everything else. Yeah, but I'm asking you.
Yeah, I didn't read the article. I just read blogs out.
Do you think he'd take the money? Yes or no?
Yeah, I think he takes money. Now, when it goes to getting into ownership and stuff, I think Dermot's would fight hand and out. He would not give up, majority ownership or any,
But there's enough money on that board. They don't need that kind of money, right? They need that. They need does Dermott really need that kind of money behind him to go ahead and spend some cash on the club? He's $1 billion.
Really,
he's worth $1 billion or a couple, whatever.
At the same time, like, if you had money to, if you were to buy something and you could spend your money for someone else's money, even if you could afford to buy something,
that's different. Yes,
spend someone else's money.
Yeah,
I would.
Yeah, ask Craig White. Craig White did the same thing, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Fucking zombies. Oh, I feel bad for them. All right. No, I don't. All right. So let me ask you this. I'm going to ask you in two parallel universes. Okay? One without oil money, one with oil money.
Okay.
One without oil money. Does the club sign Steven Gerrard? One with money, with oil money, does the club sign Steven Gerrard? And what are the two reasons why the clubs would or would not sign Steven Gerrard?
I don't see him getting signed either way, to be honest with you.
With oil money, they could do it and sell a ton of fucking jerseys, man.
I don't see what he'd add, aside from selling jerseys.
That's it. That's all it is. Listen, work with me on the capitalist thing. Just come over to the dark side of the capitalism and understand that if you had Steven Gerrard, you'd sell a fucking ton of jerseys in the U.S. His jerseys are everywhere.
No, I know.
You know what I mean?
And I could totally see that aspect, but I just don't see him. What we get him for? We pull a Robbie Keane and have him for just the second half of the season.
That's it. Yeah. Ian Wright, I guess.
I'd rather keep on keeping on with what we're doing, or get a younger player or someone who'd at least stick around for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm. And that's the reason why I think without that kind of money, it's a little bit more prudent. Don't you think?
Prudent for him to come or not to come?
No, prudent the way they spend the money.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think so too. I say 0.5% chance he comes to Celtic. And I think that I'm thinking
at all or without the money.
With or without the money.
Mm.
I don't see him coming in any way, shape, or form. I really don't.
Yeah.
I see. I mean, if we get to the end of the show and we talk about what the team is, you'd have to tell me where he fits in and why. You would know more than anyone else. You've seen, and this is the one thing I wanted to ask you. You watch more MLS than anybody else I know. Okay, the last thing I saw were the highlights of LA Galaxy going out in the playoffs. He and Landon Donovan came on as substitutes. Neither one of them looked like their knees worked.
Yeah, no, like
neither one of them can move.
He's basically that now. He's a glorified mascot, I'd say. I mean, I'm sure he could probably still go and do a little bit of time back at Liverpool and do a victory lap or a lap of honor, whatever kind of thing. But
sell some jerseys.
I don't see him adding anything.
I don't see it either. And I mean, I will say this, and for all the shit that I've given Burley on ESPN FC, I was waiting, absolutely waiting for the ESPN FC show to talk about talk about that game against Colorado. Mm-hmm. And holy shit, did he just can't double barrels. He came out and said, why in the world is Landon Donovan and Steven Gerrard even on the team? They both came out look like stick. They look like, and basically called them road cones. Even a road cone would get in someone's way. The difference between them and someone else, and that's it. I don't see him, especially if they're going to talk about someone coming in and running around through the middle of the field. I mean, I would definitely say that Chris Combs has got to be more mobile.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Than Steven Gerrard, especially after what I saw with Gerrard. Last week, or a week and a half ago.
not to get like too off topic and Gerard and Celtic connection, but I mean Landon Donovan, he was retired for what, 2-3 seasons, and then came back for 2 months for LA for some strange reason because he felt like playing again. And then
Gerard played. He went straight from Liverpool to LA, didn't he?
No, Landon Donovan.
Oh yes, he'd been out for about a year and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, he straight retired. He's been out so long that now, like, the MLS has an award, like the Landon Donovan, like, and I think that's what it is, like the MVP award.
He's been out so long they have named the award after him. Did they take it back?
Yeah. No, it still is. Like, that's what the MVP award for, Player of the Year is, the Landon Donovan award. And it's like, you can't do that. He's still playing, or, playing again like they should. They should take it back. Yeah, he can't even win his own award.
Can he win his own award?
I mean, he technically he could, but no, not after the way he,
Yeah, that's so fun. Oh, my God. He's been out so long he owns his own fucking award. Jesus Christ. All right. So, hey, listen, while Paul's not here, and by the way, Paul's in, where's he, in Nashville? Eating barbecue at BB King's?
No, I think he's in Memphis now today.
Is he in Memphis now? Okay. So since he's not here and he'll be listening, we'll just go ahead and, since he's not going to call me, and get on this call. So let's go ahead and talk about Moussa Dembele. What do you think? Chances of him going in January better or June better? Since he doesn't want to talk about anyone leaving. It's going to be tough to keep him, man. I know. 2 more goals against England, U21s. I mean, and his free kick was pretty good.
Oh, that was so brilliant.
Yeah.
I just finally got me a Dembele jersey too. So I'm like, I want to be able to wear that for a long time while he's on the team.
Yeah, you're gonna wear it for about 8 more months. Sorry, man. I'm sorry. There's no way. Why? I mean, listen. It's one of those things that I don't think he's gonna be around for a while. I really don't. I mean, if you can keep him here for 12 more months and let him go in January next year, what do you think? Over 20 million? He continues on that? 25?
I'd say it'd be pretty close. 15 to 20, yeah.
15 to 20? We'll get hosed because he's played in Scotland, but he's playing on an international level also, so it's a little bit different. Dude, could you imagine if he gets a French call-up? Peter's got to be fucking wetting his pants right now. Has to be.
Yeah, give him like, wait till January, and he's like, you know what? We don't need the A-Rod money. We're good. We got Dembele money.
Yeah, I don't want to bank on Dembele money, to be honest with you.
No, I know.
So what do you think? There's no way in the world he goes in January.
The cynic in me says, yeah. The fan in me says no.
Paul has got to be throwing his phone, listening to this through the wall right now. Stop talking about him going. Man, I'll tell you, I don't want him to go either. I don't want him to go either. I don't want him to go. I don't want him to go. I want him to stay for another season. Give me one more season, and then yeah. But I mean, to be honest, listen. To be honest with you, you're scoring goals at the international level. If he gets to the French national team in March or whatever, he scores another. Say he scores another 15 goals. He's going to get called up. You know what I mean? He's gonna make the team and play for the French national team in the World Cup. He won't. I mean, right. He's. You know,
right, and I don't see France having some, poo-poo. Oh, he plays in Scotland. We're not going to.
No, I don't see that either. No,
call up. They're not going to do that English bullshit.
No. And, unlike Sinclair talking about that, yeah, I'd love to get called up, dude. Sorry, man.
Like, you chose wrong, my friend.
Yeah, exactly. Just ask Gary Hooper about that. But
where's the guy from Indiana Jones? You chose poorly.
You chose poorly. So yeah, so Musa, January is okay. Let's say January this year, June next year, or January coming up in the window January 2018. Which one do you think, if you had a choice, January 17, June 17, or January 18?
If I had a choice, and it was up to me,
no, if
say,
you just guessing, which one do you think is the more likely?
I'll say June.
Me too, man. I think I really honestly believe it's going to be tough. When I guess when we say June, we mean after we qualify again for Champions League in August. But dude, it's going to be tough to keep him.
Yeah,
it's going to be tough. He's a talent, and it's going to be tough.
And I hope he goes to like a French team or something like that, and not an English team. I hope he goes, back home or something.
I don't care.
I mean,
listen, once we saw him,
not a fucked up way.
Yeah, you know what? To be honest with you, I don't care where he goes, because I probably won't watch him play anyway.
No, it's true.
I don't care where he goes, because I'm not that guy. I tried to watch Stokes play for Blackburn, and I was like, nah, fuck this, I give up.
I just mean for his own development, for his own career kind of thing. Like, I think he'd probably do better, back home.
Now, Jim Kindlin said basically June 2018 after the World Cup
is when he goes.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3 windows. 1, 2, 3. The fourth window from now. Man, that would be interesting. That would be good. He get some international experience and sell him on. Do well in the World Cup. Hey, listen, that's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing there.
Yeah. If we can hold on to him through the World Cup, that only increases his value. Hopefully.
Yeah. And hopefully he likes it here, and that's how it works. So it goes to that. So we'd say we did Oil Money. We got Steven Gerrard, no fucking way. Oil Money, dear God, we hope not. Musa Dembele, please stay forever. I love you. And the next thing I want to ask you before we're done here is, did you see the conversation that with Brendan talking about players on the fringe?
I did not, no.
He basically said the players who know they need to go know they need to go. So my question to you is, what do you think is, if you had to pick 5 players that you think are going, that they know?
Chris Commons. Who else? It's kind of hard. I've just thinking a while about Celtic, trying to think who hasn't played.
There's a lot. Listen, there's a lot of people that haven't played. A lot.
Yeah, but hold on, I have to take a peek at the
Ambrose.
The roster. Oh, okay, yeah. Good point.
You think Boyata stays or goes?
I was just thinking about him. I don't know. I'm thinking Janko first. I think he's probably gone there.
Janko's already gone. Janko's on loan now.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he's on loan. He's on South. I think you're looking at, if you made me pick 5 people: Commons, Ambrose, Boyata, GMS, and Shifty.
Do you think GMS is gone?
Dude, look what's in front of him. Look what's in front of him. Forrest, McGregor, Henderson. Ayer's probably going to go too, right?
Well, I read the one blog about him, and I kind of agree with. I see him going out on loan, but hopefully and probably coming back. I don't see him.
You ready?
Gone.
Here's the question. Here's the weird. Holy shit! I can't believe this is true. Fact of the day. You ready? Who's older?
Good.
Who's older?
What's up?
Who is older?
Okay.
You ready?
Good.
Mackay Steven
Mm-hmm.
or Stuart Armstrong?
If I was Steven,
Yeah. He's
by like a year, 2 years.
2 years older.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And don't forget, you still have a bunch of people out on loan.
True. Well, I was going to say, with, Armstrong's kind of recent, let's say, renaissance almost, I kind of hope that there's some hope for old Gary there, too.
I think GMS and Armstrong are both in that center position, pushing everything forward. I like both of them. They
Right.
both did that last year, as far as when they finally got in that spot. Dude, you still have Scott Allen and Yanko out on loan, and I think John is saying that Yanko's been injured is going to be injured for the rest of the season. Man, this I don't know who's fatter, me or this squad. Oof.
I see Allen being one of those, like, permanent, constantly on loans until he's
Until he's done.
fades away kind of players. So,
Yeah, he's not gonna be around for a little while. He's not gonna be around. He's gonna be gone soon. And he's a year older than Armstrong.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a tough one. I would go Commons, Ambrose, Boyata, GMS, and Shifty basically out. If you wanted to basically have me add one more player to that, I think Logan Bailly probably finds a way to go somewhere else.
Who?
The Logan Bailly, the goalkeeper.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's back. He's got to be back from injury by now. I mean, he's been out for a little while, but he played the other day in the game against he played against Aston Villa, I believe, at a penalty kick save.
Yeah, that's who we had that game against. Yeah.
Exactly.
But and not to, like, drag up old, like, Ronnie shit, but, like, this is kind of the what happens when, we have just a shit ton of, central midfielders. Like, now we're at that point where, like, some of them, they're good. GMS is good, but we just have so many. We just have too many.
Yeah, we do, and we have to get some other things in there. We really do. I think we can get rid of some people, go from there, handle some other things. As far as what we've got to get accomplished, getting rid of people and getting them down there. Really, 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 really do. I think so. But so next thing before that is the AGM. Did you read anything about that at all?
Not yet. Like I said, I wasn't sure if it was still going on or not. I was gonna wait. I'm going to my in-laws this weekend, so I was gonna
read all that stuff there.
Get some stuff to read. Yeah, and get like a recap of stuff.
Yeah, there was some interesting stuff. The one that I thought was the funniest was the thing about the toilets and Rangers zombie supporters. They said there's a police inquiry and the discussions are still ongoing. There's no one else in the area. It's sectioned off. Right. I've personally seen video. Just curious.
I see the video too.
I'm just curious. Who else is there to blame? Anyway, unless they're going to go ahead and and identify people personally and start saying these people did this, I guess, and make them pay for it. But yeah, I think that was kind of obvious what happened there. That was interesting. The other thing that was interesting was Peter Lovell talking about Champions League changes. And he said that Champions League changes, they're going to happen in 2021, I believe, is the date that I saw. And
the new format thingy?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and after 2021, in starting 2022, a new format's going to happen, and apparently he feels they're in position to go ahead and make changes in that. So
Say that again?
they apparently Lalo made the comment that he feels they're in position to go ahead and make changes and be at the seat to be able to talk about when changes take place. So that's good. All right, whatever. Okay, that's bad. The one thing he did say that I thought was interesting, I remember getting up in the morning and reading it, was that he was actually supportive and defended the Green Brigade.
Really?
Yeah, he said something. Someone had made a comment about Green Brigade and blah 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 blah, and he does. Apparently, the person whoever made the comment didn't like them. Blah blah blah, which is fine. And the question was, the comment basically came out and said, "Listen, I get it, but the problem is that there are issues. There's some doofuses in our support, and oh, by the way, those doofuses really most of the time aren't within the Green Brigade." And I thought that was really interesting because that's the first. It wasn't like he said something positive about the Green Brigade. It's awesome. He just wasn't negative towards Green Brigade, which I thought was actually pretty good. I thought it was good.
Well, I think that's also been a thing that they've been saying. Not a defense, but just I want to say a statement. Can't think of the word I'm thinking of, but just a kind of thing that they've been saying for a couple of years now that, for better or for worse, pretty much anyone can buy Green Brigade merchandise and wear it. And when something happens, if something happens, somebody's wearing it, it's just, oh, Green Brigade did it, or just people assume everyone all the time, traveling or whatever, is Green Brigade.
Hold on.
So that just, they're just associated.
Oh, please tell me this is working. Give me 1 second, Rev. We may have... Give me 1 second, Rev. Let's take a look real quick. I think we may... hopefully we didn't...
Got dropped?
Yeah, we kind of shit the bed here. Oh, did we? Hold on 1 second. Let's see. Let's see if we did or didn't.
Oh, pull up Twitter. It's pretty good.
Hold on 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
We may have actually shit the bed because my looks like my we may have. Sorry, man.
Yeah, it doesn't say that it's live right now on Spreaker.
It doesn't.
No.
All right, let me see. Yeah, we've been sitting here talking, and then I realized...
Oh, wait, no, it does.
Does it?
I think so.
Let's see what happens. Hold on 1 second. And...
See if I can go into the chat room.
Are we live? I have no idea. Yeah, we're live. We're still live. I still see it. We're here. We're live, guys. Sorry about that. I have no idea. I'm just checking on a second thing here. I still hear you. Thank you. Okay, good. So let's shit the bed. We're all good. Okay, good. So I won't touch my my browser here. We'll just let it go. I have this is my second browser up. So we'll just let it go until we're ready to go, and then we'll just go ahead and close everything down. My question to you is, it is amateur hour. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate that. So throughout the AGM and everything else, the question I have for you is, what about the state aid question? Did you see that?
I did not.
Okay,
Yeah,
the state aid was that Celtic, when they bought the property out in front of Celtic Park, they had paid less than what the fair market value was for it because obviously the council tried to help them, but that actually didn't quite happen that way. Apparently, Celtic paid 3 times over the value. So instead of paying $200,000 for the property, they paid £600,000. Pounds for the property. So much for state aid.
So they don't pay their taxes, and we overpay for property.
If you want to boil it down to the most simple thing, the answer is yes, that's correct. That's exactly how it works. So the funny part is that all the state aid the freedom of information requests have cost the council almost £300,000.
Jesus Christ.
Correct. Is that funny? Now that's 200,000 for the property is the value. 300,000 in freedom of information requests. Instead of making £400,000, now the council's only made £100,000. They've eaten the whole entire profit. Brilliant, great idea, guys. So much for state aid. So we put state aid away, and the one thing from the AGM is Resolution 12. Which is the issue with by the way, and Combat Buddy Johnny said, never understood the concept anyway. Isn't the job of local government to assist businesses, especially those that bring an income to the city? The answer is yes, unless you are a zombie and you gave support to a company or a club that you don't support, and then you complain. So anyway, the Resolution 12, which is the issue with the club and whether or not they're going to go ahead and go after Rangers and SFA for giving them the license to compete in 2012 in the Champions League, even though they were not solvent, didn't pay their taxes, everything else. Apparently, that is a question that was brought up, considered, and then will be handled again later, coming up next week in different things. I don't know. Do you have any opinion on it or anything at all?
I mean, obviously, I want to stick it to them in every possible opportunity. First off, second off, I want what's. Oh,
that's right. I'm with you 100%.
Right. I want what's fair is fair. If there's a rule that they were given, a unfair sporting advantage, or whatever the fucking term is,
right?
Through their financial doping, then they should not benefit from that. And then, additionally to that, if they were given the license when they should not have been, then they should pay a penalty for that.
Right.
There's everything is spelled out clearly, with the, either the FIFA, UEFA, or SPFL, or the Scottish FA bylaws. It should be pretty black and white. Either they, broke the rules or the bylaws, or they didn't. And if they did, they should,
now
be penalized.
Now, Rev, listen. This is me and you talking. Okay, two Americans that realize sports in of themselves don't have any. Sports teams really don't get preferential treatment. I mean, look. Could you imagine the SFA?
Unless you're Tom Brady.
Even then, they chased the guy down for 2 fucking years until they got him. You know what I mean? They did. They really did. Right. And I'm saying that only because Tom Brady's my fantasy quarterback. And it worked out okay because I had Matt Ryan. I was okay the first 4 weeks. But anyway, no, it's crazy. It's crazy. Could you imagine the Yankees breaking every fucking rule and MLB just ignoring every one of them? And you could say, oh, well, they're the Yankees. Excuse me. What happened to George Steinbrenner in the 70s?
Mm-hmm.
He was excommunicated from baseball because he gave money to a political party. Come on. I mean, could you imagine? Could you imagine if that hadn't happened? If that happened here, there would be, oh my God, the press would be all over them. I don't understand. Is it me, or do you get the same thing? Like looking at the press here in the U.S. as far as going after people and fake news sites and all the bullshit that we read, no one touches them over there. Is that you or is that me? Or am I missing this?
I agree.
It's nuts. It's nuts. No one says a fucking word to them. Not a fucking word.
And instead you get, articles about other teams that are meant to destabilize, demoralize, and, so on and so forth.
Yeah, if we're not doing it, as Paul would say, you guys are trying to stabilize the club by saying that we're going to sell Dembele, but Jesus Christ, every fucking article for 3 days was Dembele going to be sold for?
Right.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. The AGM was interesting. I thought it was really, really interesting. And then the one last thing that I thought was really, really cool was Brendan Rodgers saying, "I'm here. I'm here. I plan to be here for years."
Good. That's what I want to hear.
I know.
Even if you just saying it, I still,
My question is this: do you get a hard on when he says supporters? Oh, I'm a Celtic supporter. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna whack off to this one. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I remember we asked the question: do you honestly believe he believes the whole idea about him being a supporter and everything else? He's carried this on way, way beyond the conversation.
Definitely. No, I don't know. I wouldn't say I take back what I said because I didn't really say anything negative about him. I just said I was, skeptical in the beginning.
Yes.
Naturally, because
not skeptical of him or his qualities, just skeptical of the supporter. Yeah, exactly.
Right. So now, given a few months later, I say he seems genuine. Even if it's just still the job, and he's genuine because of the job. It's a genuine affection for the club and the team.
Listen, if I must be flogged because I questioned it, then so be it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take that. But now he says it. It's like, yeah. I mean, he could read to me a recipe on how to make, a Betty Crocker cake from the box, and I'd be on the edge of my seat going, "What's next? Do you crack the egg or do you just pop it open?" Seriously, it really is, and it's funny because I say that because the next point is it goes back to the media, and as soon as Brendan comes out with what he said in the AGM and everything that people are happy about, then you start reading articles about, hey, by the way, Mario Balotelli was not happy with Brendan Rodgers. Who the fuck cares? And why are Scottish papers printing that shit? Who gives a shit? Even if it's clickbait, what's the point?
All right, going back to 2 minutes ago, because they have to print stuff to demoralize and everything like that, and they have to scrape the bottom of the barrel to do that.
Yeah, they have to. It's beyond irritating to no end. Beyond. But anyway, so my question to you is: now that we're done with that, we got players gotta go. We did that one. We got Steven Gerrard can take a fuck. Musa Dembele staying forever. Oil money, we are talking about that, gone. $600,000 for a piece of property is worth $200,000. Just when I thought Peter Walwell was a really good businessman, I find out he 3 times overpays for a piece of property. I'm kind of questioning him right now. We've discussed that Armstrong is younger than GMS and Scott Allen. Got it? Okay. And Dembele's gone in 2018 June. Okay, so that leaves us to Friday Night Football. Woohoo! Football! Can we talk football now?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I saw about tomorrow night was I can't wait, all right, for Friday Night Football. I hope something like I hope Rogic hits another one of these because we're, I guess, playing Killy, right? The goal against Killy that he scored in the 137th minute, right? Basically to not have us lynch Ronnie. My question to you is this. I mean, do you have really happy memories about Rogic's goal, or do you have really memories of release of Rogic's goal? Which one is it?
It was going to be released that day regardless. It was either sweet release of death or sweet release of just, getting to take a deep breath and step back from the edge that day. It was one or the other.
Please.
That morning I put the razor blade down and, you know, took a deep breath and got to see the sunrise again and sunset. But no, it was definitely just relief than actual excitement.
I put the razor blade down. Good. That makes me happy. That makes me happy. Yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh, can we see another one of these from Rogic? No. I want to see 7 of those in the first 12 minutes so I can take the day off. Because here we go again. No one else in Scottish football has anyone playing internationally. I mean, maybe one or two somewhere. Maybe the Zombies have, I guess, 1 or 2 players going off somewhere to go play somewhere for an international team somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Half the Celtic club's gone, and we got to come back on Thursday and play Friday at Killy? Come on now. Come on. It's so fucking... I mean, come on. After, Tuesday, Wednesday games of Champions League, next thing you know, you're playing, before that game, you're playing up at Ross County or playing, at Inverness or, it's so obvious. It really is. It's so fucking obvious. I get that we started on the road at Tynecastle. I get it. It happens. I understand. No problem at all. The rest of it, you know exactly what the fuck you're doing. Know exactly what the fuck you're doing. I believe that as much as I believe. Oh, look. Matches. Yeah, man, it's like the first year that LeBron left Miami, and Christmas Day, the first time he returns back to Miami. That was just a mistake. That just look at that. Look at this. Oh, I had no idea. Fuck you. We know exactly what the hell the story is. Stop it. I don't believe you as much as I don't believe the NBA. And I can't stand the NBA. Oh, crazy.
Yeah, no, all the international matches and stuff, they're all done by the time, the Scottish FA does the SPFL.
That's how. Listen, I booked my trip. I booked my trip to go in September, October, knowing when the damn international break was in May.
Right.
So anyway,
and even if you don't know the exact Champions League dates, you know about what week they're going to be and everything like that.
Of course you do. That's shit. Yeah, of course you do. That stuff's already set, so they know. Anyway. So anyway, I'm 2 beers in, and I got to get to bed because I got to get up and drive to go see Honey Boo Boo. We'll talk about that in a second. That leaves us to give me your team and predictions for Friday. Talk to me, Goose.
Can
we agree? Gordon, Lustig, Sviatchenko, and Izzy.
Yeah.
The question is, do you think Kolo comes back into play? We haven't seen him in a while. Kolo or Simonovic?
Say that again?
Kolo or Simonovic? Now, here's the reason why I ask. We still got a Champions League game coming up against Barcelona. So, do you play Simonovic and then Kolo in the Champions League, or what do you think?
I think I go with, probably Torre in both. Well, give him a run out here. Yeah, give him both. Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, because we played Friday, and then good thing Friday, but Wednesday we play, and here we go, another one. You ready? We play Wednesday against Barcelona at home. Then we get Aberdeen, the Betfred Cup. Okay, Aberdeen in the final, then Motherwell, and then City. So Barcelona on Wednesday the 23rd, which is good because we'll have almost have turkey overload for the day before. So do you play Simonovic or no? Do you play Kolo? Which game do you play Kolo in? What do you think?
I'd say go for both. I'd say, play him in this game, see how he does, because he hasn't played since the last Champions League game, right? When he got torn apart.
Yes, he did.
So I'd say play him in this. And if he's not shit,
Play him
have a
again.
good game playing against Barcelona too.
Okay, so you go with Colo. Yeah, I'm going to go with Colo too, only because Simonovic is basically on a pitch count, and he's getting one game, which, by the way, really, really, really explains Simonovic playing. By the way, we haven't talked about this. Simonovic played against Aberdeen. We won that game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Knowing he's on a pitch count, I say pitch count, U.S. player, U.S. Tim's on the pitch count, and was not even on the bench to go play at Mönchengladbach. How about that? Did that blow you away when you saw that? He didn't even travel.
I really don't remember. But yeah, I guess now that I
travel.
think about it, that's a little weird.
Yeah. What does that tell you about the way Brendan thinks about Champions League versus the SPFL season? Do you think that has something to do with it, you think?
I mean, that was a quick turnaround. That was like a Saturday to Tuesday.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're going on the fact that he needs more time between games.
Well, they said he was.
then
Yeah,
why
they
is
said
it-
he wasn't there because he can only play one game a week.
Yeah.
So you played him in Aberdeen, but didn't play him in the Champions League. I thought it was pretty big. I thought that was kind of interesting. So I'm going to go with Colo tomorrow. And then the rest of it kind of fills it in. Brown, Rogic, Dembele through the middle of the spine of the club. The only question becomes Brown, Rogic, Dembele, and Sinclair. The only two questions become: do you go Armstrong or McGregor, or Paddy or Jamesy? Jamesy.
I pick Patty if he's.
You take Paddy then?
If he's shit, I'll go Patty every time.
You go Paddy
At
every
least
time.
to start.
At least start with. And then McGregor or Armstrong next to Bruni.
Armstrong.
Yeah, me too. Think of that one. But my question is this. Okay, now that we went through that, can we double back real quick? Who do you take out of that team to put in the straw man of Steven Gerrard if he signs? Just curious. Armstrong?
Probably. That'd be the closest to
What he does?
like for like kind of, yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you. And to be honest with you, don't want him to take any one of those places because he's about as mobile as a brick. If you've seen him play lately, the man is not mobile anymore. What is he, 36 now?
And don't forget, that's him playing in sunny, warm California, too.
Exactly. Playing in Southern California, yes, where it's 88 degrees and sunny and it doesn't rain. And the man still was in one position, long enough to just basically collect dust. So, but anyway.
Might as well go and throw a cone on his head. He doesn't move.
Yeah, seriously, I'd throw a damn sheet
the-
over him. He ain't moving.
Statue.
He ain't going anywhere. I don't think so. So I'll give you that one. So if we go Gordon, Lustig, Kolo, Sviatchenko, Izzy, Bruni, Armstrong, you say Patty, I say Jamesy. Rogic, Sinclair, and Dembele is exactly how that works. I think that's the beautiful part about this is you and I could have this conversation. The truth is, we're probably 90% right as compared to when Ronnie was here, who we could throw fucking coins in the air and guess heads or tails. But anyway, neither here nor there. All right, that's that. Anything else you want to talk about?
The one thing that I was just going to bring up real quick, because I know, it was kind of a big deal over here. I don't know if it was over there.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you and Matt Ryan were talking about it, the whole stuff with New Balance, since it is our kit maker.
Mm-hmm.
well, for going on, for people who didn't know, apparently the guy, the CEO or whatever of New Balance, supposedly made a pro-Trump statement after the election last week.
No, that's not what happened.
Well, right.
That's what a lot of people said. That's not what happened.
But going more and so like people flip the shit and burning sneakers and stuff like that, throwing sneakers away. Really, what he said was because New Balance is one of the last few, at least as far as major manufacturers.
Yeah, still in the U.S.
Still make all their stuff in the U.S. and the Boston-based company. They just said that, hey, in regards to like the TPP, Trans-Pacific Partnership trade agreement, that hey, maybe now with this new guy, we can have a different setup, and someone might be more, how do you put it, a little more open to
protectionist type thing.
So
yes, exactly. And there was a good article on what James Forrest did on CELTIC blog about that.
Yes.
About how basically they gave the same amount of money to everybody. They gave it to Sanders, they gave it to Clinton, they gave it to Trump. Exactly, yeah.
Really? I missed that one then?
Yeah. They basically wanted the same, because everyone wants to, obviously, when you want money and you want, support, they'll say whatever they want to say to be able to get that, especially here in the U.S. I don't know, I assume that it's probably the same in the UK. But I thought that conversation was actually pretty interesting. And to be honest with you, it's crazy. It's crazy, and you know what, Rev? I don't want to get into the politics sides of it, but I do want to get into this. Right. If you honestly believe for 1 second that a kit maker from the U.S. is going to say anything pro-Trump, yet you're going to take money from the UAE and put it into the club, you're out of your fucking mind. You are out of your fucking mind. You're out of your mind. Out of your mind. Out of your mind. There's no way. If you think you could sell UAE money, there's no way.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because I read most of his blogs and stuff. I guess that one I did miss. But I just wanted to bring that up because, I didn't know if people saw that and started freaking out. But I just wanted to, quell some fears if people did see the New Balance and were like, oh, great, now, we have that to worry about.
Yeah.
Because that is a good point, with the CELTIC, club formed by immigrants. Now we have this guy potentially saying some things, supporting this president. But no, those comments were legit taken out of context in that regard.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I honestly, I thought I was pretty funny. I was reading it going, they gave money to everybody. There's a reason, and that's exactly how it goes. And by the way, coming from somebody who's a minority, who is an independent, and then votes one way, feels one way, and and does what I do, I'm all over the freaking map. It's crazy. It's crazy, especially when you look at a company in the U.S. that's the only company to hate on New Balance is crazy because they're probably the only shoemaker that doesn't employ slave labor or child labor. I say slave labor or child labor, or 8 cents an hour. It's just and it's just nuts. But whatever. I don't know if I'll get yelled at for that or not get yelled at for that. But let's get off of that stuff. So anyway, I agree with you, Rev. I agree with you. It's crazy. Prediction for the game. What do you think?
Kiwi away. I'm going to say 2-1 us.
2-1 us. I say. Easy. Yeah, I say. I would like to see the clean sheet streak continue. I would probably go 3-0. I want my mates that are going to the game this weekend, tomorrow night. I know who they are. I want them to party and have a good time, and then come back and enjoy the bus ride back to the port.
I have a feeling the game will probably be easy. One of those scoreline doesn't reflect the game kind of things.
Yes,
It'll look closer than it really is.
Yeah, I would say I would love to see. Trust me, I'd love to see a 9-0. But I would take a 2-0 that looks like a 9-0. I would. In fact, I'd take 3 points and then move on. Considering I don't want anyone to be hurt. But the good news is, and by the way, our Facebook post from earlier this morning. The best part about it was we saw the U.S. play Costa Rica. The U.S. got their ass reamed by Costa Rica 4-0. The best part about the U.S. losing to Costa Rica 4-0 was
Christian Gamboa didn't get hurt.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason why he didn't get hurt was because
he didn't play.
He didn't have to play, and the reason he couldn't play is because he's on yellow card suspension, and that's the only reason why I turned on the game to start with. Yes, that's exactly why. So Gamboa got to go ahead and I don't know if he stayed or left. I didn't catch him on the bench. I didn't see him on the bench at that game. But then again, I turned it off because if I watch any more U.S. soccer getting beat by Costa Rica, which is basically the size of South Carolina as far as number of people, I was probably going to throw something through the television. It's just the most. You think watching Scotland's tough. Watch the U.S. and then Klinsmann, who I thought had something going on, but if I see John Brooks as center back again, I'm going to absolutely just shoot myself and then wonder why MLS even is in existence if that's the type of player they have. Anyway, did I get all that out? Did I get out? Anyway, sorry about that. Anyway, Rev, what else?
Good chatting. I'm good.
It was good chatting. Now, I usually would go out with some music, but here's the problem I got. I'd love to go out with some music. The only problem I have is that we're running on a frozen web browser right now. It's running.
Oh, really?
I can't do anything about it. People are telling me they can hear it. I can see it on my other browser. I open a second browser on my other screen, and I assume that it's still going. Apparently, we are still live. Unfortunately, when I say it's over, good night, I'm going to go ahead and end task, and it's going to be end of the show. Hopefully, it does do what it's supposed to do. I have no idea if it will or won't, but oh well, fuck it. Anyway, so after that, Rev, what you got going on this weekend besides watching? Are you in the Cone of Silence? You watching the game tomorrow?
No, I'll be home. Doing up some stuff. We're hosting Thanksgiving here, combined families. So I'll be prepping for that. The upcoming week. So I'll have the game on tomorrow.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to ask you. So did you ever get the Whataburger in Houston?
Oh, I did.
It's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it awesome?
That's pretty good. No, you know what I found out? Apparently, in downtown areas,
yes,
most places you can get downtown.
They roll up the sidewalks.
Houston, because it's mostly just offices and stuff.
Yeah,
they shut everything down.
Dallas is the same way.
5 o'clock.
Yep.
Yeah, everything's closed, and then for the weekend, everything's closed. We got up Saturday morning to get breakfast. Like Starbucks, a couple blocks away,
nothing
closed. Doesn't open until noon. Yeah, that's the way Dallas is. Downtown Dallas, the same way. And I'll be in Houston in January. I haven't been in a long time, so we'll get a chance to go check that out. But so that'll be that one. So you finally got the Whataburger. Did you get the big chicken sandwich for 99 cents? No, I got just the number 2, like the 2 patties and cheese and.
It's good, man.
Bacon
I know. A burger's a burger.
It's really good.
But Whataburger is it's awesome. I love Whataburger.
I mean, we have to drive out, 45 minutes to Richmond for it, but.
And speaking of driving, 45 minutes tomorrow morning, I'm going to bed. It is now 10 p.m. on the East Coast here in Myrtle Beach, which is 3 a.m. in Scotland. You guys up listening, God bless you. I don't know how you do it. So I got to get to bed, get up in the morning, meeting Sean Brennan in Florence at the airport, Florence Airport tomorrow morning, which is about an hour and 45 minutes, maybe 2-hour drive from here. And we're going to go see Honey Boo Boo tomorrow. We're going to see Chris. So I got some good IPAs. If you look at MB Bought Deep on Twitter, you'll see I had some New South, which is Myrtle Beach beer, which they're right around the corner from us here, and Westbrook from Charleston, which is a little IPA brewed one claw. They brew the entire thing with one claw, with like a crab claw, an IPA with crab claw. It's pretty cool. That was our beer for today. I've been out stretching my IPA legs to get ready to hang out with those two guys because the wine I drink isn't going to cut it with those two those two hopheads. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I know Sean loves it.
Oh, Sean's all about it. Hopefully he's in bed because he's up in the morning. He's driving, or he's probably somewhere. God knows where he's driving right now.
Oh, I'm going to ask this: who's bringing the Bucky?
I actually brought Bucky back from Scotland, and of course, we had this happen. As soon as you say the word Bucky, guess who shows up in the chat room? Chris shows up in the chat room with a woo.
His beard senses were tingling.
His beard sense. Anyway, so yes, I actually have the cars packed. My bags are packed. I have Bucky, about 6 different beers, all IPA styles, and on top of that, a little bit of moonshine that gets made from Myrtle Beach moonshine, some apple pie moonshine. Because apparently we're tailgating to watch Georgia play. Chris, you got to help me out here. I don't know who Georgia's playing. I guess I'm going to a Georgia game, and Chris has been nice enough to make sure that I don't have to buy a Georgia hat. He'll let me borrow one of his, so that way I don't go violate the South Carolina Gamecocks gig there. But I'll probably go buy one. I'll have to go buy a hat. We'll see. But sounds like fun. So and by the way, and I only bring this up not because to talk about us going there, but it's actually pretty fucking cool. It's like Louisiana Lafayette. Ooh la la. By the way, Ooh la la is the name of the school. University of Louisiana Lafayette. Ooh la la. It's pretty fucking cool, man. A guy I would never meet, Sean Brennan, driving down, pick me up. We'll go see some guy I never would have met. Chris Long, and we'll go have beer. And I'm sitting there talking on a fucking phone conversation with you, which you and I would never have anything to talk about if it wasn't for this. But a total different level of it's like fucking it's crazy. I don't think people realize. Once again, another point back to I don't see the club taking or being able to sell taking money. There's too much value in this. "Quote unquote" hashtag Celtic family. There really is. There really is.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
But it's just nuts. It's just for us to be on this with Chris and Paul. Paul, so fuck. Where the hell would I ever meet Paul? What the fuck?
Yeah,
it's just so nuts. It's so nuts. Isn't this? And when you try to explain to people, they have no idea. But anyway. So we'll do that tomorrow, and we'll go. If you want, look up A. Throckmorton, whatever he is, A. Throckmorton 111, whatever he is. A. Throckmorton 1, and then Sean Brennan, go catch him, and then I'll be on there tweeting out pictures, and we'll get into town early enough into Athens to watch the game mid-afternoon. Apparently, we're going to someplace. I think it's called. Terrapin, I may have heard of it. I think it's a beer company. I have no idea. Terrapin to go tap some serious beer that is slightly rare, apparently. So we're going to go do that and enjoy the rest of the day, and then get up in the morning, tailgate for a noon kickoff for Georgia versus Ooh La La, and we should have fun. So,
nice.
why don't you just fly down? Just get in the plane. Just come on down. If you get in the car now, meet us in Florence tomorrow, about 9:30 in the morning. 2 breweries tomorrow. We're going to 2 breweries tomorrow. Somebody help us. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make this. My wine palate's not going to be able to cut this IPA thing. Someone pray for me.
So, you can do it. I got faith in you.
Come Come on, Rev. Chris says, come on, Rev. You should in the chat room. You need to come on down. Just go ahead and come on down. Get in the car now. Drive here. No? You kind of busy tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of figured. I know. Listen, if it wasn't for my boss giving me some love and giving me time to get away, I wouldn't have time either. Trust me. But anyway. Anything else, brother?
No, that's it. I'm good.
Sweet. Good talking to you. You've got a 2-1. I've got a 3-1. Seen a couple 1-0s at Killy. I want a 3-0. I want to just fucking hammer Killy tomorrow because I hate them. I have no reason to hate them.
Agreed.
I hate them. But anyway. All right, man. I'm going to go ahead and shut this off. Ladies and gentlemen, if this shuts off and it works, great. If it doesn't, I love you anyway. Apparently, we're still live, but we're out of here. And we're all set. All right, Rev?
Hail. Have a good weekend. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Yes. Happy. We'll hopefully, Monday, Tuesday next week, hopefully we'll get on the show before we play on Wednesday. So, and Chris says 4-0. All right, Bubba. Take care. Talk to you soon. Hail.